So thrilled to have you here, Mr. Osa Igiehon, the CEO of Heirs Energy. Thank you for being here and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Pleased to be here.
So, just to get started, Heirs Energy rebranded from Heirs Holding Oil and Gas last year. Can you tell us more about this rebrand and how it aligns with your company's broader strategic goals?
Yes. So let me start by saying that as a group, we have a mission, and Heirs Energies is actualizing a part of that mission. So Heirs Energies is part of the Heirs Holdings Group, and as a group, what we are trying to do is build an integrated energy business that uniquely addresses Africa's energy needs. So far, we have started that journey, and we have acquired assets in Nigeria. So upstream, oil and gas. We have power generation and power distribution. That's the part of the ambition that we have achieved so far. But we are looking to then build the other components of the value chain, both in Nigeria and across Africa. So in rebranding from Heirs Holdings Oil and Gas to Heirs Energies, we are kind of we are making sure that the name of the company fits with the mission and the vision that we are trying to achieve, which is to build an integrated energy business, not just an oil and gas business.
And you recently achieved a 51,000 BPD at the OML 17 this October. What factors contributed to this turnaround in production, and what challenges did you overcome to reach this production milestone?
Yes. So we started this year at 35,000 barrels, and we have actually gone to achieve a peak of 53,000 barrels so far. We have gone beyond the 51, and we are marching towards 60 within a couple of months. So we're a very growth-minded company, and OMS 17 is a brownfield. It's a mature field. And what we have done is to apply an approach called brownfield excellence, something I developed as a result of my long career, in the course of my long career, to unlocking the potential in the field. So when we look at assets, we're looking at three main pillars to say there is potential of the field or the asset, there is production from it, and there's evacuation. And what our approach entails is taking a systemic look to truly understand what are the opportunities in that production, in that system, and how to realize it, and what are the constraints in the system and how to unlock it, and then the economic framework that drives value in a short term, so looking at payout and not long term like in FPV. So with those key pillars, we have been able to apply it to the OMS 17 asset and drive off production very significantly. So we have worked we've worked number of wells that are producing. We have reactivated a large number of wells that had been shut in. We have worked the production system to a much higher uptime, and we have also worked with government to get a pipeline system that is far more secure and delivers a lot more to the terminal.
I'm so glad that you actually mentioned government because that would lead to my next question is how your company has called for closer collaboration between policymakers and energy companies. In your view, what are the most critical policies that need attention to drive further growth in the Nigerian gas sector?
Yeah. So I think whilst there's more to be done, a lot has already been done in the recent years. So when you look at it in terms of policy, the Petroleum Industry Act, which was passed, provides a much clearer framework for oil and gas midstream development. It's much clearer than had been in the previous legislation. Then this year, the president has put out directives that address the fiscal frameworks for new non-associated gas developments, and also framework around contracting and local content, which are key enablers for development of gas. So I think from a policy framework, there's quite a number of things already in play. And we need to, as an industry and as a collective, all the players on the table need to look at this environment that has been created and say, how do we make the most of it? There is no time, in my view, there's no time when you're going to have a perfect world. Yeah. So what we need to say is, for the things that have been unlocked, for the opportunities that have been created, can we realize those whilst looking for the new ones? More and more policy will not necessarily mean that our ambitions will be met. The policies are there, but the drive, the appetite, and the growth mindset is needed from the upstream players, particularly, to also match what has been provided in terms of environment with actual delivery on ground to lead to increase in production for gas and for the other streams.
And what specific gas to power projects are you currently undertaking? And how are any of these new projects in the pipeline that will support Nigeria's energy needs?
Okay. So in our field, we produce both associated gas, so that comes out of oil, and then we have non-associated gas, so gas that you produce from its native state in gas. And we have both of those. And the gas that we produce today, all of it goes into the domestic market in Nigeria, and we are feeding about 3 to 4 power plants, a large number of gas-based industry, and a large number of other players in the ecosystem. So what we've done to increase gas to power is that, first thing is that we're working to get all the remaining small fraction of gas that are being fed into the pipelines. And we are also working on a dedicated pipeline to deliver gas to a number of our key customers, which are power plants. Within our group, as I mentioned, we have an integrated energy play, and gas to power is a key leg in that. So it's within that context we are working these opportunities to get more gas to our existing customers, but to also develop the infrastructure to get gas in a more impactful way to power plants, both existing and new.
And just my final question, we're here at African Energy Week. How do you see this event contributing to your objectives, and particularly in promoting collaboration and attracting investment and supporting Nigeria's gas to power ambitions?
Yeah. So this is a very important event. I think it's on many levels. First, I would say the African Energy Chamber has to be commended for taking a stand with spine to talk about the requirement for energy for Africa. I think in the years where the conversation became an energy transition conversation, many players who should have spoken up retreated. But I have to commend the African Energy Chamber for standing up and standing firm, and then providing this platform for us as Africans to talk about our needs and talk about the fact that we as Africans need to chart a responsible way forward from the current energy deficiency systems we have, to a system of energy sufficiency. And we have to use the resources that we have and to ensure that those resources is used in a manner that has catalytic effects on our environment, on our people, on our youth, and on our economies. And also championing the fact that it should be done in such a way that environmental responsibility is paramount in our minds. Host community empowerment and synergy is key in achieving these ambitions. So when I now look at this conference as a platform, it's unique because it brings a number of key players to the table. It brings government, it brings financiers, it brings operators, it brings contractors to the table, and not just in one country, but across Africa. So it's a huge platform for collaboration, and I have to say that what I've seen really gives me confidence that this becomes a very well-established platform of note and of repute, and a pillar for the renaissance of Africa and for us working together to address Africa's energy poverty and truly be able to stand tall and tell our grandchildren when we are asked that we made our bit to solve the problem of energy poverty in Africa, and that we all contributed and were counted in the journey to to energy sufficiency for Africa. Thank you.
Osa, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, thank you very much, Miro. Yes.